Hello again, welcome back to Asgard, and welcome back to Dungeons, Dragons, and Space Shuttles. So, looking around, you can see I've been fairly busy since the last episode. Very, very busy. I spent a bit of the weekend working in this pack. Haven't really done any building in there, but I have done a lot of building up around through here, and I've actually blocked off a lot of these segments. These will, these will later on, they will connect, into more segments and stuff. But right now, I've just kind of got them blocked off so that no mobs can come through, minus like spiders. But I've been working on this stuff, kind of making it safe. This little segment here is safe, all the way out to here. And then I did get the coal seeds all the way down. So, and then I upgraded. These are all now tier 2s. That's all still tier 1s, but the rest of that is tier 2s. And then, of course, tier 3s at the far end there. And then I should have everything lit up so that no mobs spawn. I will say that with our new sword in hand, mobs are not an issue at all. I did get the Inferium, the Intermedium blade on there, and I did get Sharpestest. So it is maxed out on Nether Quartz, and we are looking at almost 15 attack damage, which is pretty massive. It's pretty massive. It'll still get better, but this right now, it tends to one-shot spiders, and it two-shot zombies, even in like heavy armor. It's a pretty good sword, to say the least, for this stage of the game. I did find an iron chestplate in a chest, so when I was mining for some materials that we're going to be using today. But yeah, so anyways, I did work on that stuff, and then I've ran out some farmland. Nothing in there. There's some spots where I've got to add some blue schist through there. But anyways, I did run these walls all the way up and along. It's still kind of a mess at the moment because I've got everything kind of blocked off. And then of course the walls are going to come out even further and whatnot. But right now, this is pretty good. It's pretty good. And then over here, this little segment is kind of blocked off with dirt at the moment. And then I have worked a little bit in here, but I still have a long ways to go. We're going to be working in here today, though. So, but I did do the chiseling bits to kind of bring this wall out a little bit further. And I did add some temporary lighting through here. So, that's been the main things that I've been working on. It's been a lot of work. And then I moved our berry bushes, and I'm in the process of actually taking these, mainly blackberries and mallowberries. Those are the only ones that I haven't got all the way down. I really only need like 3 more blackberries to get them ran to this point. I'm not sure if that's where I'm going to stop, but we're going to have the berries that kind of run down through there. And then we'll probably end up adding some of the nether berries. And then right here I've got wild berries, and we'll have some nether berries, and then the dungeon tactics berries, just for the sake of it, really. But a couple changes. There has been an update since the last episode, and the aquamarine shell, the chance to get this from making sand, is gone. That is now removed and doesn't work anymore. So we're not going to be able to get any more aquamarine shell from that. So chances are I'm actually going to wait to break this aquamarine shell down until we put fortune on our shovel. I did do a little bit of mining between episodes. I don't have nearly enough lapis. I'm barely have any lapis at the moment. If we take a look inside of here, you can see I have 6. And actually, I think I've got 3 right here. So I've got 9. Actually, you know what? I've got 9 lapis. So let's grab that. Let's grab that. We're actually going to this petty tartaric gem. We do have the lapis that we need now to upgrade this. So we're going to do that just because we can. Because what it takes a block of redstone. How do I get block of lapis? Okay, I don't have enough lapis, so scratch that. Scratch that. Now it takes plates. I don't know if it always took plates or not, maybe. But not a big deal, I can just get more lapis. But I do have... This Tartaric gem is just about filled out, so I'm going to upgrade this one as soon as we get a little bit more lapis. So, but anyways, also we're doing great on coal. We have more coal than we know what to do with at the moment. And yeah, that's pretty much where we're at. So, anyhow, Oh, and I did check the configs for the pack. And I know Xavian said it wasn't this way a few versions past, but it is this way now. The Magma Anvil does require 500 millibuckets per durability that it repairs. And the powered anvil, the diamond anvil, takes 2000 RF per durability. Which is it's quite a bit more in both those cases than the defaults. So of course, right now, just like we talked about last episode, this is useless for us at the moment. The only exclusions being if we have something that has very low durability by default. So say something maybe like a chest transporter or something like that that has low durability. Then a few buckets of lava to bring that durability up, not a big issue. But then if once we get a lava generator or really good RF production or something like that in place, we can use that. Of course, Evilcraft has item repair as well, which isn't too far in, but I think probably a lava gen because we're gonna be working towards some of that stuff anyways that's needed for that. So I'll probably just shoot for that. Also, another major change. These right here. This recipe was changed. Um, I went to craft some of this because I was getting low, and it now requires a chef's workshop, and it does require some cooking oil in order to make stuffed peppers. So we can no longer craft those to the crafting table. So just a heads up there. So we'll probably start looking at food again here soon. We're not going to be worried about it this episode. This episode we are actually going to be working on. Let me actually get. Let me grab some of this. This is actually all wood from. This is all wood from cutting down trees, because I actually did a lot of deforestation between episodes. But on the plus side, we're actually at the point now with the build where, if you look out, we have a lot more space than we used to. We're about to have a storage building. This building is going to get pretty much cleared out as soon as we get the storage building because all this storage is going to be elsewhere. Which means this building will actually kind of come into what it's meant to be, which is actually going to be a bonsai tree farm, is what this building is going to be long term. And so this building will start coming into what it's supposed to be, and that out there, and then we'll start working on some of the cobble gen stuff, and then we'll start really kind of taking off with a lot of this pack, because a lot of it was just kind of getting this space. Because mobs are pretty dangerous in this pack, and there's blood moons and stuff like that that we have to be aware of. They're not super common. But we're finally about to a point where we can actually kind of expand and spread out and have access to buildings that are going to have, purposes and stuff like that. So, but anyways, what I want to make, the first thing I want to make is I want to make a framing table. We're not even going to bother with, there's all these different drawers, and the storage drawers extras. There's not a whole lot of point in this mod at all. Like, this whole mod could just be removed, in truth, because you can make all this stuff through the framing table. So, I wouldn't even look at all this stuff. It doesn't matter. Just look at this and up. But we're going to actually make, let's see, the oak trim. We're going to make a bunch of this stuff. And I'm actually going to have to make a new saw because oh, by the way, I did complete this quest right here between episodes because I was making brownstone. So we've got rough brownstone, sandstone, and copper coin for completing that quest. And then these right here, we never turned these in. Copper pickaxe with unbreaking, a dank null panel, silver coin. We'll go ahead and take all of that. And then the sandy glass, we get either sandy glass, empty cells, or oak chests. We're going to take the sandy glass. It's fine. Okay, so let's go ahead and get ourselves... I want to make a saw. So there's that. And then let's get ourselves a bit of wood and a bit more sticks. Let's get ourselves some oak trim. I'm going to want 2 crafts of this for now. We will, I'm sure, want more of that, though. And then the framing table, there we go. There's that. Okay, and then in addition, I'm going to want a bit. I'm actually going to be, in this series, we're going to be doing, normally I just do the full block space drawers because, why not? They have more storage and they still take up a block space, but in this pack, we're actually going to be going with the half drawers. a lot of the 1x2s and the 2x2s. So let's go ahead. Let's make ourselves... Can I do this craft by chance? Yes, I can. That makes 4. That's awesome. Let's go ahead and just pow. That's a good way to make those, actually, because I don't have to cut them down for wood. And if you guys have been around the channel long, you know I'm a big fan of that recipe. I absolutely love that recipe. Okay, so let's go ahead and get ourselves... There's 8 of the 1x2s. That'll be alright to get started. And then I'm going to want a bit more sticks. I actually think I've got... Oh, I just got 4 sticks on me at the moment. And then there is 24 2x2s. Okay, so let's head over here. And let's set this up. We're going to put... I'm just going to put that right here. And I think for a lot of this, we're going to have dedicated rooms within this pack. So we'll have one room that is, say, kitchen type stuff. And it's going to have kitchen-related things. They're all going to be linked together, but they're going to have separate drawer controllers. So the kitchen area is going to have its own drawer controller. So whenever stuff goes in to get sent to, you know, wherever it's going, it's going to get cycled through, and it's going to check all the different drawer networks that we've got. Let me actually sleep. I know rain's not a popular thing in the videos, so we'll go ahead and get rid of that. But anyways, we're going to have it so that each one's going to have its own dedicated controller. So kitchen's going to be separate, and then we'll have like mystical crops, you know, is going to be its own thing. And then we can just basically have segmented dedicated ones, but they all still will link up through the same item sorting system, you know, which we're actually going to start getting into our main item sorting here before long. And then I think like this room will probably be magical crops. This room is going to be kitchen for this first floor. That's the stuff that we need to get placed and processed. And this room is actually going to be a lot of our cobble works section, which is going to include our sand generator here, and, you know, our sandstone generation, stuff like that. That's just kind of like just being created. And chances are this is actually going to have a second floor that's still going to be cobble works. But we're going to have these like little dedicated rooms, but then it'll all be accessible through a main point. And I did do some thinking, and I think our refined storage system is going to be a separate building. It's just going to work out better for us. Okay, so let's go ahead and I actually forgot to bring my blocks that I'm going to be working with. So let's pop back over here. Okay, I got some blocks. I did some mining, like I said, between episodes, I was actually looking for nice, and I want the Project Vibrant Journeys basalt. Couldn't find it. So we're not going to be going with that. I didn't find either one of those. I did spend a bit of time looking, and then I just gave up. So what we're going to be going with is, I think what we're going to be going with, let's see, this will be for the... these are actually going to be going in the cobbleworks. This will be for like farms, mystical agriculture, the 2x2s, because we really just don't need as much storage for that stuff, I don't feel like. Except maybe the essences. No, really not. So, but anyways, what we're going to be going with is a combination of, I think, slate and shale. I think is the one that I kind of settled on. Let me swap these. I actually quite like that look against that dacite. Of course, there's this that's a little bit darker with the basalt and the shale. This is like a grayer basalt. This is the underground biomes basalt. These are blocks that are pretty easy for me to come across, but I think I quite like that with the darker ring and then the stony type texture. This right here is what I was really looking for, is this nice, because I don't know, I just really like the stone type texture, but, you know, igneous extruder, we could make it. I do want to get this before too long, but it's a little bit in. I mean, most of this is fairly cheap. This is really not that bad. We're going to be getting into that before too long, because we're going to have a bunch of those within our cobbleworks. But I do think we're going to go with this. I'm pretty happy with the slate and shale combo. And we're going to start... Let's see, this will be Mystical Ag, this will be Farms, which is going to include meat. It's going to be a big section, actually. But we'll go ahead and just get an idea of this building and the way it's going to look. We'll start, like, you know, right in here and run this stuff out like that. It's actually going to kind of overhang off of the bottom here, which is kind of what I want. And we're just going to have this big wall of stuff that's going to go into here. And then over here, we're going to have our mystical agriculture essence stuff. And then we'll have, let's see, dump that into there. These right here are going to go, like I said, back here with the cobblework stuff. And chances are a lot of this room is going to be stuff in the middle of the floor, like machines and different little setups. But we'll do, like, you know, right through here is going to be cobbleworks. And then I'm going to have to get some drawer controllers. Luckily, they're not expensive in this pack. I was actually expecting them to be, but they are not. So, we're looking at that. It's standard craft to make this. Stone, a little bit of redstone comparators, the drawers, and diamonds. But I tell you what, let's see, let me pop over. Let me get some of our crops that we're growing. I'm going to focus on the stuff that is already planted. I'm not going to put anything in drawers that's not yet planted. That way I can kind of sift through. I've got to make a new master list for this pack, and I'll put it up on the Discord, you know, just like I did in Enigmatica. In Enigmatica, I had a big master list of all the different seeds from every single mod within the pack. Namely, Pam's Harvest Craft was the big part of it, but it had all the different crops, including like the actual additions and everything. And I'm going to do another master list for this pack because Pam's has added quite a bit of stuff. So I will update that. But also our fruit trees that were in the courtyard over there, I did take the shears. You know, just like I did in Enigmatica, I cut off all the little spawner nodes. So we've got some apple spawners and mango or something over there in a chest. So just a heads up on that. But I'm going to gather up these things through here. And that way I can just kind of dump them into a drawer for us. Okay, I ran out of space. So that's okay. That's alright. But I've got at least one of everything that we have planted, excluding the berries. I've got to grab those. But like I said, I just want to start filling this area out. And I figured, you know, we'll spend an episode talking about the storage building and working on the storage building. But a lot of this stuff will be done off camera because, you know, it's going to take a while. It's going to take a lot of work, and it's going to take a while to get all this stuff sorted and slotted and inventoried and all that. But anyways, we'll go ahead, seeds, wheat, sugarcane, dump all this stuff into there. We'll have carrots, potatoes. I want beets. Let's see, rice seeds and rice. I'd actually like to have... Let me hold on to that for just a second. Okay, and I need bees to go into there. But a couple things that I need to go make real quick. Let me actually grab at least one of each of these so that I can slot the berries, and then we can start, you know, dumping berries into there. There we go. And a couple things that I want to look into making. First up, I need to make a bunch of these upgrade templates. Whoa. Filter mod. Whoa. Whoa. Oh my god, conversion upgrades are expensive. Okay, because what I was really wanting to do is have the rice is, you know, it's interchangeable with the Pam's Harvest Craft rice, and I like the way the Pam's Harvest Craft rice looks. But since I'm gathering this right now, I guess since this is so expensive, I'm not going to do it just yet. Later on, I'm going to change it over with a conversion upgrade. So even though we're getting the actual editions rice, we're going to be storing the Pam's Harvest Craft rice. I like the way it looks more, but that's just a visual thing. We can wait on that. That's too expensive to Oops, I don't know what I just clicked. That's too expensive. I do want to get this. I mean, it's expensive until we automate. We're going to be automating methane gas here soon. Which, once we do that, it's going to be a whole lot less expensive. Or a whole lot... Maybe not less... Well, yeah. Less expensive. Oh. Oh my gosh. Yeah. See, spiders still get in, but that's okay. It's not a big concern. Okay, so there is our hopper. At least that's out of the way. This is one of those things that we're definitely going to want to get up automated, like, pretty quick, because it's going to get so expensive so fast. It really, really is. So, quest complete. Wood casing. Oh, okay. We've made these before. We get a wood casing, 2 iron ingots, and a copper coin. We'll go ahead and take that. Okay, there's 4 of those. We got enough to make this. So... we can at least get the key made. Wow. I hadn't looked at the upgrade template. I just don't think about it being more expensive, I guess. But let's get that. Okay, and then we can get our drawer key. There we go. And some of these, I'm actually probably going to make one of those. I thought we've already done that quest before, but maybe not. Okay, but then we can just go through and we can lock all of this stuff. Of course, if we had a drawer controller, we can just right-click the drawer controller once, but I don't have a drawer controller yet. So for right now, we're just going to store rice as is. Then later on, we'll change it, and then I'm going to put honeybees right there, so we've got those available. Then we're going to have our different berries in there. I'm just going to pull these back out because I want to hold on to those at the moment. And then we'll have wild berries, and we'll have the 4 different... I think there's 4 different... if we take a look at bushes, or I mean 3 different. There's cherry bombs, incendiberries, and glow currants. So we'll put those in there. And then we'll have another tab that has the 4 different Natura nether berries. And I think that should be good on those. But yay, we're making progress. And I'll tell you what, let me go ahead and just lock these for right now. Which next episode, we're going to start working towards our item transfer, because once we get our item transfer and our storage building set up, we're going to be in good shape to really start automating things and having the stuff automatically sent and handled within the storage building, you know. Oh, and by the way, I did, between episodes, I did change over... this had that paper plate, and I changed over for another living wood tough tool rod. And we actually, basically, instead of having a paper and a living wood and getting 2 modifiers, we have 2 living woods, which result in 3 modifiers. Because you can see this actually has botanical 3. And so I imagine if we had another botanical on there, it would get even, like, probably like 5 or 6 modifiers. Like, it's pretty crazy. It adds up super fast. Okay, and I imagine this is probably going to break here in just a moment. That's fine. Yeah. I was thinking it probably wasn't going to last very much longer, so let me grab this stuff. And I actually have quite a bit of prosperity shards, because when I was mining, I kept coming across it. And with Fortune 3, you actually get quite a bit of it. So I've got a bit more prosperity shards in here as well. I did mine up some of those rock crystals. I went and mined up the ones that we'd forgotten about. Like last episode, whenever I dug down, I forgot to actually get the rock crystal that I'd went for. I did dig that up. Okay, I went ahead and set this up. So we're going to have 6 different essences. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like that. Then we've got the fertilized essence and the prosperity shards there. And then these, I've actually got these spaced out. So if we take a look at the tier 1 crafting seeds, stone, and then dirt goes there, and then it's like blah, 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 ice, blah, 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 blah. And then it goes into the tier 2s, and it's coal, and blah, 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 blah. And then fire. That's all we've got so far, is just these 4 different things. We're going to start moving into basically just getting all the tier 1s, then all the tier 2s, and so on. here soon. So I was kind of stocking up on, prosperity shards. Of course, I mined some, and then I've also been getting some from using the sword and the hammer, which have the prosperous effect. And there's actually one thing I want to try. I'm going to have to pop into a test world real quick, but I had a comment about this, and this is something that I've never really tried, which I'll explain it here in just a second. But I'm going to pop over to test world for just a minute. One thing I am curious about, though, is the drawers. If we take a look at the drawers, what does it take? Wow, it takes 2 upgrade templates. So basically, a craft of this for each of these. But it looks like we don't have to tear them up, so that's good. We just craft whatever one we want. But it does take the different storage modules, which are expensive. Okay, we're not going to be able to have a lot of storage at first. Wow, it's like the storage downgrade only takes 1 template. Void only takes 1 template, but conversion takes 2. Creative is not allowed in this pack. I think the thing I love most about this pack is there's no cop-outs. There's no, like, you know, get to the creative stuff and then use creative vending upgrades to get lots of things, or, you know, there's nothing like that. And there's no, you know, there's no Project E. There's no in-game built around Project E. And Mystical Agriculture fits this pack. I think most packs it's used as like a cop-out, like, oh, get Mystical Agriculture, and then you don't need resources. But in this pack, you actually kind of need Mystical Agriculture right out the gate. Because, like, normally, I'm not a big Mystical Agriculture fan. I don't really like the mod in general. But in this pack, it fits nicely. And I think a lot of it is because you can't duplicate seeds just from farming them, at least pre-phytogenic insulator. You know, which is a little ways into the pack. You can't... And I don't know, it just makes for, like, really extended play. Of course, if you rush tech and stuff like that, it's going to go a bit quicker. But, you know, you could get into things a bit quicker. But if you take your time going through this, I mean, this pack is massive as far as the amount of time that you can really invest in it, which I love that. But I'm going to pop into Creative World just really, really quick. I'm going to test one thing, and I'll be right back. Okay, I just tested this. This was actually a comment on the last video by Shadow Master God 1 about putting Auto-smelt on a pick with Luck 3. And I remember in the past this didn't work this way. And in vanilla Minecraft mechanics, it shouldn't work this way, but it does, and it's absolutely amazing. And we're gonna change something up here a little bit. So our pickaxe, it has a living wood tool rod, cobalt pickaxe head, and a wooden binding. Okay, what we're going to do is the wooden binding. How much? 1 material. That is perfect. That is perfect. What we're going to do is we're going to make ourselves some... I want to make some firewood. This right here, which it does require lava wood, which is a little bit of lava poured over some wood. So let's go ahead and... I need to make another saw. I'll do that in a minute, but we're going to put that right there. And 450 millibuckets. Okay, I'm just going to grab a bucket of this. And I actually can't remember. Can I just right-click this on the drain and it go in? Yes, I can. Perfect. Okay, so we're going to pour that over our wood. Let's grab that. And then I need 2... Oh, I may actually have to go to the nether. But at least I have a better sword now. Yeah, I've got to take a quick trip to the nether. That's okay. Let's do that real quick. I know I'm kind of getting sidetracked. We're focusing on the storage building, but it's a little bit of a sidetrack. Okay, let's just lure this guy over. And this will be totally worth it once we get this in place. So, come on. I might actually get both of these guys. I need 2 blaze powder to make this. Which this sword... Yeah, there's 2 blaze powder. Okay. Well, he just went down, so I'm not gonna bother with him. That's fine. I've got the blaze powder that I need, so I'm not being greedy. So let's go ahead and do... Oh, and I got a blaze rod, too. There's our piece of firewood. Let's go ahead and get that. We're going to get a firewood binding. Because I actually don't even need the binding that's on here anymore. Because the I've got ecological right there. I don't need it on the binding, too. Because there's no point in it. So we're going to get Auto-smelt on this. So Auto-smelt and Luck 3. Now, normally in vanilla Minecraft, that doesn't do anything. It doesn't work. However, with Tinker's Constructs now, it does work. It does actually work. And I'm going to get... This is better than using the smeltery because there I can only double. This, I mean, technically it's not 100% chance that I'm going to get more than one. But in my test world, I was getting more than one most often. More often, like... very often. So if I just lay this stuff out, we're going to set up something for this here in just a moment. But this is going to be our new ore processing system. So what I can do if I break this, let's see. Oh, right there. I have 6 right now. There's 8. There's 10. There's 11. There's 13. There's 15. There's 18. So I got 4 from that iron ore. There's 20, 21, 24, 28. And it's a lot easier. Plus, I'm getting XP as I process this. And I don't have to waste a bunch of time and lava and stuff like that to process this. And I think it's going to come out to be better overall than doubling. Because I know in my test world, I was getting 3 pretty common. And then sometimes I'd get even 4. And it wasn't very common that I only got 1. So you can see from that, I got quite a bit of iron, and it was a whole lot faster processing that, and we're going to make it even faster. And in theory, this should work with, I'm assuming this will work with like cobalt, I should think. So if we mine that up, there's 1, there's 3, there's 6, there's 9. So see, I actually, doubling that would have been 8. So I got 9 instead of 8. That's better. That's better. So I'm happy with it. So a really big thank you to Shadow Master God. I never knew that was even a thing in Tinker's Constructs, to be honest. And that's awesome. Which one thing that we can do, just really, really quickly, let me pop in here just so no spider riding zombies get in here. But let's, and then we'll keep Silk Touch on the hammer, and then we'll have the Auto-smelt on the pick. I think that's going to be good. But if we were to get these mechanical users... Because we've made these before, and they're not any more expensive now than they were before. Let me get these. I thought we'd already made one of these, but I can't find the ender shards. So there's 2 resonating redstone crystals. I know we've made some, but they'll turn up at some point. And there's 2 mechanical users. No, I'm not going to do automatic collection right now, just because I don't really have the stuff in place. Let's go ahead and just place those down like that. We'll make this a little bit more refined later on. So we're going to do generic click, right click, random slots fine, always on. And then this one here, we're going to be able to put our pick in here, and we're going to say use item on block, left click, upper left slot only. And so if we were to grab, say, let's see, let's grab copper, let's grab ardite, let's grab nickel, tin, all this stuff. We can toss it right into there. Let's say place block, actually. And there we go. It's going to start breaking it, and we're going to get the XP from it. And then sometimes this ardite takes a little bit longer with the pick. We can fix that just by adding more, more mining speed to it. So, haster right now. But if we got, like, hastest, it would break it pretty quick. But yeah, it's actually going through these at a pretty decent rate. There we go. And then I can come over here and I can grab, say we want to do platinum, lead, silver, dacite iron. That's from having Silk Touch. Nether gold, all this different stuff. We can toss it into there, and this should all work just as well. And you'll notice the stuff that's not ardite, it goes through that like pretty quick. Like as soon as it places it down, it breaks it. So this is actually kind of wonderful. And then once we set up something for automatic item collection, I mean, really what I could do is just put that item barrel at the bottom of this and put blocks around it so it automatically will fall down. Problem solved. But I'm not going to worry about that until we get it moved, I don't think. Just because it's not really all that important to me. But we will set up something here fairly soon for automatic item collection. So I need to go grab a couple berries because my hunger. Oh my gosh, there's XP everywhere. There's XP all over the place. Because when it's not doing that Ardite, it actually moves pretty quick through that stuff. So, and then also we could probably, I wonder, well, let me let this stuff finish real quick. And then I'm going to test a couple other metals here. Quest complete copper. I guess we need like a stack of copper for something. Yes. We get a rare loot bag, 10 electrotine alloy ingots, or an emerald. I'm going to take the electrotine alloy ingots, of course. And then we also get 10 copper and 2 silver for that. That's not bad. Actually, just... see, let me dump all these metals. We're getting so many metals now. It's quite wonderful, actually. Okay, there's my silver coins. And now I can go mining and I can just process everything. Well, really, realistically, this stuff's going to get processed while I'm mining it. You know, unless I happen to use the hammer for it. Which does happen, but chances are it'll get processed as I collect it instead of having to process it once I get back. And I'm getting better output this way. So this will probably be our ore doubling system until we get like mechanisms, you know, something, one of the mechanism systems up and going. But there's like thorium, which we could smelt. Yeah, we might as well. Boron, we should be able to smelt. Yes. Lithium, we should be able to smelt. Yes. Vanadium, and you can smelt that. Bauxite, see, you're not supposed to be able to just smelt bauxite, but I do want to test that to see if it works. And galena, because it might possibly bypass stuff. I'm not for sure. This stuff I'm gonna hold on. This is Tinker's Alloying Editions. Yellowite, we could smelt that for uranium. Sure, sounds good. Might as well break down the sulfur. Black quartz, we can smelt that. So let's toss this stuff into there. And let's see what happens with it. Yeah, the bauxite just got picked back up. So it doesn't work. So we'll go ahead and just grab that out. Okay, and the galena doesn't work either. So those we can't bypass that. It's going to go based on JEI. And it's going to say, okay, this doesn't work. So that's fine. Okay, so I got everything broke through. Whole lot easier than going through and having to process all that stuff in here and pour it out and all that mess. We don't have to worry about that anymore. That's only going to be for making alloys. And actually in one of the upcoming episodes, we're just going to make an alloy kiln. And so the smeltery will lose a lot of its need, in truth. But, yay. Okay, I've been editing footage, and you can see I brought the drawers around a little bit. Don't really have anything in any of these. Then I brought these around. I did make some tier 1 crafting seeds. And I'm actually probably going to do like 4 stone seeds, 4 nature seeds, which these are just wheat, pumpkins, cactus, and sugarcane, which we've got that. 4 stone, 4 nature, 4 wood, and 4 water. And then we're going to get into the Arthana here soon, and we'll start getting zombie seeds. And then that's going to kind of round out, at least have a few seeds of all the tier 1s then. And then we'll start working on the tier 2s, which is where we're going to get our dye seeds, our nether seeds, slime, rubber, copper, mystical flowers, which will be useful. These are, okay, just 4 of any. Marble, limestone, basalt, apatite, mineral, marble, again. Okay, that makes the chisel marble, that makes the astral sorcery marble, which I think they're interchangeable, so, and then slate seeds, so. But anyways, one thing I want to do before we end out the episode, I want to make, first up, I did move the kitchen workshop over here, and our little table that makes veggie stir fry, and I've got this little table, these little tables set up so I can do some crafting over here as well. But what I want to do is I want to make, first up I want to make, we'll start with drawer controllers. So I'm going to get a couple of these is fine. And then we're going to get, it does not register that stone. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and get our comparators. There's 4 of those. And I've got a chisel, so there we go. What's this? Quest complete, Artisan's Chisel. Okay. We get a copper ingot, a pork sausage, and a copper coin. Okay, and they want us to get vanilla cobblestone and stuff. We could knock out those quests pretty easily, but it's no big deal. All right, there's 2 drawer controllers. And then I want to go ahead and get some frame trim. This right here, let's go ahead and make just a bunch of this. And what I want to do is, let me go ahead and convert this over to dacite bricks. And let me move that stuff real quick. We're going to go ahead and make all this frame trim into... Actually, I don't really have to do all of this. Let me go ahead and just get like 6. And what we're going to do, of course, trim is going to link this stuff up. So I can connect these to that and that to that and all this to the drawer controller and so on. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to have our frame trim come up right here. And it's actually going to kind of overhang off the top of the drawers there. Is how this is going to be set up. And then the ceiling is actually going to be 1 block higher than this. So it's going to be kind of like a border that runs around. So these dacite bricks, and this could change, who knows. But that's going to run along like that. I actually have a slightly different texture there, but it's hard to notice it really. And then what we're going to do is let's pop up here, and where this frame trim comes up, which is right there, let's go ahead and just bring up that. And then right over here we're going to have, so what we'll do is we'll have the frame trim come up here, and the frame trim come up right here. That's going to come up, that's going to come up, and of course this is going to be ceiling. Do I want it to just be 3 high? So if I had, yeah, actually 3 blocks high is plenty. I don't think I need a higher ceiling than that on this. So let's just pop up here. And what we're going to do, let me put out, this is just going to be temporary, but let's put that out right there. We're going to bring our frame trim across. Like that's going to come through and connect. This is going to come up and connect. And then this is going to come over to say like right there. Let's say that's going to be the middle point of this section. Okay, this is the farming area section. Because this has a 25 by 25 by 25 radius. So this will cover plenty of this area. And then what we'll do is we'll just attach a drawer controller right there. It's going to be out of sight. It's going to be a little bit... I'm not going to put the ceiling over that right now. Because it's going to be kind of hard to use at the moment if I do that. But long term, this is going to all be automatically managed. So you just walk in, the stuff's on the walls, and you dump it into a central system, and it sorts everything, okay? But so, for example, if I was to come over here and I was to grab, a few different things here. I've got just a bunch of junk. If I come over here and I right-click, it dumps all that stuff into the appropriate drawers. So, where they link up. And then it's got all of these, all of that, and all of that connected since it has the trim that runs across there. And then this stuff can all get removed. And then I'll just run these around for this border section. Okay. And then I've got to do this little corner section. I'll do that, but yeah. And then there we go. So we'll have access to all of this stuff and be able to instantly dump everything where it goes. And then what I'll probably do is chisel and bit the ceiling. Instead of having a full block above, I'm going to do about a half block above. is I think what I'm going to do there. So that's all taken care of, and then I can just run the drawers around and fill them full of stuff. So, and this room should be plenty big to hold all of our different cooking-based materials. And then, which this room is still kind of bare bones, but we'll get it all cleaned up. And then there's going to be a floor above this one. And I may actually have the same drawer controller cover the floor above as well, because technically this could cover this floor and above, and really even above another floor probably. So I might have the same, like, 3 drawer controllers total that cover that side, that side, that side. I mean, realistically, if I move this one over a little bit, it could cover this room too, if I wanted to. I mean, I'm still going to have another one. I'm going to have, like, one that covers this area, one that covers this area, one that covers over there. So I'm still going to need 3, but that's fine. And then I may actually put a basement section here, like an upstairs and a basement. Maybe a 4th floor, I don't know. But, yeah, so what we'll do instead... Okay, yeah, I'm going to put the drawer controller here. And this should cover all of this room, and then all of this room. Okay? All from this drawer controller. So this will be kind of like farming. So we've got all the different crops, all the different mystical agriculture, and then I'll probably link up, sapling or tree-based stuff above it, and then maybe something else. I don't know. But, so it'll be kind of similar things, but... Anyways, and then I'll hold on to this, and this is going to go over here, which we're going to be working in that section here soon, but not today. And then over here, what we're going to do is, let's grab our frame trim, and we're just going to bring this up. We're going to bring this up, there. By the way, I made a new saw out of steel, but I think I'm going to start making them out of... diamond, because they have a whole lot more durability, so it would just be better. So anyways, there's a bunch more frame trim, and then all we're going to do is just bring this over. Okay, so now if I come back and I have, maybe some fire essence, and I have some inferium essence, and then I have, I don't know, rice seeds and some wheat. Okay, I've got just a bunch of junk. I get back from collecting stuff from the farms, right click, and there we go. It's dumped all that stuff into there. And then eventually, like I said, this will be covered and you won't even be able to see it, and it'll just be plugged up for full automation here fairly soon. So we'll get that sorted. We'll get that sorted here soon. We're going to have to do a little bit more progress on some stuff, but we will have that taken care of before long. So, and this entire wall will plug in through that, because any kind of drawers and any kind of trim and any kind of drawer controllers, controller slaves, and compacting drawers, they all link together to make a network in a 25 by 25 by 25 around the drawer controller. So, if you didn't know the statistics for that, there they are. So, anyways, it's a step in the right direction. We've started getting into drawers, and this stuff is going to help us out a lot. As this building gets filled out, and it has everything that we need, it's going to make it a whole lot easier, because I don't have to spend as much time sorting things and inventory management. I can just come over here and just dump everything, and then everything will be sorted into appropriate rooms and corresponding little areas for given things. So, but anyways, I know it's about wrapping up point for this episode, so I'm going to end this one out here. Next episode, we're going to continue on with some working stuff. I do want to get I wanted to do it this episode, but we didn't get around to it. I want to upgrade our backpack. We might go check out a dungeon next episode. We'll see. Or we might try a dungeon, see how it goes. And if it goes bad, we'll just say, we'll wait till we get some better armor. We might even look at armor next episode. But I do want to start working towards our item transfer system, which is going to be fun. It's actually, we did it in SevTech. We're going to be using blood magic nodes for a lot of our transfer and item control, because it's hands down the best item transfer system for most purposes. So, anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. If you did, as always, be sure and hit that like button And go ahead and subscribe if you're not already to stay updated with when new videos come out. And I hope to see you guys next time. So until then, as always, do take care, stay safe, and I'll see you guys then.